Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for the City of Final Fantasy Omnia, in which I am going to be taking on what I can only describe as one of the most frustrating Lufenia Plus quests since the inception of the difficulty. We are taking on World of Illusion's Divine Assailing Shiva. So, any of you OGs out there who have been playing since the very beginning may remember the Shiva fight when it first came out. Not the fucking Divine one, but the original one. I think it was when Sarah's EX weapon debuted, and when she also got her rework and cursed arts, at which point she became one of the greatest supports for forever, months upon months. Friggin' Sarah ascended to greatness, and it was very good too, because she was absolutely shite before that happened, and then she just became a fucking demigod if you were patient enough and or insane enough to farm out all of her cursed arts before all of the many quality of life improvements we've had to the artifact system, which I did get a perfect Sarah, and it did cost me my sanity, as I'm sure you can tell. But that fight was really annoying because the Shivas had this thing whereby when they used their recast ability, they basically froze you in place. It was kind of like a debuff, but via aura, because it doesn't show up on your debuff bar, and they basically turn you into ice statues, and then you can't move until after they take another turn. Well, the Lufenia Plus fight does exactly the same fucking thing, except it's even worse because they forcibly use their attack at certain HP thresholds, so you spend a good amount of time just sitting there not being able to play the game, which is great fun. And she also has a whole host of other mechanics, such as putting up random arbitrary 1 million HP damage shields that you have to get through, and also she becomes absorbent to all elements except fire after her recast ability for a set number of turns, where you basically need to use non-elemental or fire damage or bust, which kind of sucks. And the recast, obviously, one of the annoying things about being frozen in place on this is that the Lufenia orb is ticking down in the meantime, and is more than likely going to go off at some point. But thankfully, the devs are not that sadistic, and this is one of the very few orbs that is not an instant kill. You can tank this orb. I would recommend you don't if you can help it, but it can't always be helped. I do recommend that whatever team you're using for this, you bring some kind of heavy HP damage mitigation like WoL, because when you get the bosses very low on health, that's when their stats increase, and they are going to pepper you with a lot of attacks, and if you don't have some serious mitigation, you're probably going to die. I tried this with Porom, and it went really smoothly right until the last 30%, and then they froze me in place and insta-broke me and just chain attacked me, and I ended up dying even with Porom. So you have been forewarned. Warrior of Light is brilliant because of the way his LD shield works, so you're probably just not going to get damaged. If you bring a wall, this is more along the lines of annoying than it is actually difficult. And another great thing about the Shivas here is that, well, they either have normal defense for Lufenia Plus, or they even have a lower defense. Maybe it's just because we're in the World of Illusion, so everybody's got boosted stats, but you don't have to worry about chunking her defense too much. You can just pump out the brave damage increases instead. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into it, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I can't bring Oren, sadly, because I need to make room for Wall, but I've brought him as a call ability to make my core hit extra hard on his follow-ups. Speaking of core, I've not used core in a hot minute in any kind of Lufenia level content, and he still absolutely is a very worthy contender, even in the Lufenia Plus difficulty. So it's kind of nice actually to be able to bust out core. I've not really used him. So it's nice to be able to kind of, use him again. He was definitely a worthwhile. Well, I don't want to call him an investment, I think a lot of global players think in terms of investing in characters. I just pull for the characters I want, and I just have fun with them at the time. But it's nice to be able to whip out core again, because he's absolutely still got the goods. So, name of the game here on this phase is to just try and use as few call abilities and other utility as possible, just to reduce this thing below the 30% HP threshold. Yes, that's right, you have to take it below 30% on the Luffy Plus for it to actually split apart. Unfortunately, it's not half health, it really kind of probably should be, but we are where we are. So there goes one of the HP damage shields. You always love to see it. Let's get the debuff evasion with wall. That's why I'm using the skill 2 there. And it's just pretty much a matter of just chunking through this guy. Or this gal. It's using you love to see it. The recast gauge is already full. Let's see if we can get an actually useful aura this time. Oh, it's the speed debuff aura. I'm not a big fan of this one. It's not really the most useful. At least one good thing I like about Core is that he does do 2 follow-up attacks or 2 counter attacks. Well, they're not really follow-ups or counters, are they? But you know what I mean. He attacks twice when the boss is using an all attack. And of course here is one of the reasons that Ace is useful in this fight, is because even if he's not doing anything, he's still doing things. You know what, let's heal everyone up. Let's actually do that. Okay, so it's going to split apart now. Which is great stuff. Let's just use Reaper's Gale to start with. I'm not going to use Oren's CA until a bit later, because we don't need to use it right at the start. It's kind of overkill. Same thing with Wall and the whole sort of what's his face? What's his name again? Ignis. Yeah, the Ignis thing. Yeah, let's use LD. Can we scam turn rate here with Wall? We actually can. I'm gonna do this. Let's try and get these things as close to like 80% as we can, and then we pop the burst. I'm going to use this for orb maintenance purposes. And I am going to keep scamming turn rate, I absolutely am. Hey, the black aura is coming in handy with the speed debuff here. I'm going to try and get into burst over here. Let's play it safe, shall we? Car's gonna attack twice? Twice. Okay, now it's dropped below the friggin' the HP threshold, so it's absolutely going to use its recast. You hate to see it. So now we're just going to get battered. I mean, this isn't too bad. Alright, this is fine. Ace continues to be useful while being a statue. You always love to see it. It's like you can see we've dropped below the fucking, like, the threshold, and now we just can't play the game forever, and now they're about to get their recast up, so this is definitely where I'm going to be going into the burst pretty soon. We're still basically dealing cap damage to them. So I'm not going to use Oran's LD here. But I will use his skill 1 debuff. With the melee resist down. It seems like an acceptable compromise. Okay, good. We do have the buff on there from what's his face, from Core. So let me let one of these frame debuffs wear off. Prep the Iraha. And go into the burst. Okay, good shit. See if we can get a more useful EX effect going on. Maybe the yellow or the red aura, perhaps. Those two are my favourites. Of course, we get the fucking blue one. That one's practically useless by this point as well. Very minimal amount of HP regen. And bravery, I guess. Which is even more minimal thanks to Lufenia Plus. 5.27 million. Pretty good, pretty good. I can't complain too much. Now, I don't know when the second threshold is. I don't know if it's at like 50, like 49% or what it is. Like, hopefully it is. Let me reapply LD here with WoL and taking chances if I can help it. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. It's so fun just not being able to do anything. Oh, don't look now, it's about to do it again. So, I hope now you understand why I say that Warrior of Light is a really good call, because even if you time Porom's EX, like, what are the odds you're going to survive all of this nonsense? Rhetorical question, by the way. And imagine if the Lufenia orbs were instant kill. I mean, just look at this shit. This is actually silly. Oh my god, we can move. But for how long? Oh god, that's a big one. WoL, you are the best. WoL is the greatest. Okay, well, I do believe it is time to not only pop this, but also to have the twins come out and do their thing. Not as much damage as it could have been, but pretty good, pretty good. And so now you kind of see the damage is just absolutely dropping off. I'm going to go into summon for the fire damage, but oh, we do we have the Imperial on there still? I'm not sure. Either way. That's EX. Oh, we've got the red aura, which is excellent. It's going to help us out with that damage. Oh, look at this. 3 twins turns. 3 mega flares in E3. That's what that means. Do they have defense buffs on? No, they don't even have defense buffs on. That's pretty impressive. Okay, if we do that, and we do that, but if we do this, okay, LD it is. Something about that is just very, very satisfying. Okay, that jumps up the turn too much. That does not. So Mega Burst it is. I definitely want another Twins turn while I'm in here. Alright, good stuff. And here goes the I think this is the final automatic recast ability that they do, the final Diamond Dust. Unfortunately, we don't have the Imperil, and I already used my Ignis on freaking WoL, so let's just sit and play Cheerleader for Ace, as his LD debuff just goes to work while we can't move. Yeah, not the most exciting video, but I really don't think there is a way around this. I really don't think there is. Oh, nice! We get the finisher from Ace. That would have been so cool if we could have finished it with that. Unfortunately, we have no such luck, so we'll just have to let Core finish the job, shan't we? Haha, I have a shield. Your puny attacks mean nothing to me. Okay, there we go, finally. We got through it. So that, yeah, that's going to be Divine Shiva. Incredibly long and boring fight, and I don't think you can do anything to cheese it apart from bring wall. I think that is the extent of the cheese that you can do. Maybe things would be different if I had Ject Burst, but I can't imagine that they would be that much different. So with that, I am going to say thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all... I'm going to say I hope you all enjoyed it, but I can't imagine this video is any more fun to watch than the quest is to play, which is to say not very. But I mean, hey, here you go. Here's my approach to it. I'm sure most of you out there have a kind of similar idea. So, that being said, thanks for watching, and until the next time, take care, and goodbye.